Welcome aboard. It's Captain G to Global War 85's failsafe. Turn 5.7 China. Dateline Beijing. Say Yuan, year of the wood ox. The co-pilot informed the defense minister when they were 2 minutes out. The minister was already 30 minutes late to the emergency meeting called by the supreme leader. He and the rest of the national leadership were already at Army headquarters. The minister had been delayed in leaving Guangxi following the developments coming from Hainan Island. As the minister looked out of the helicopter viewport, Russian cruise missiles struck the base. It was all over before the helicopter could land. Once again, good fortune had saved him, and it was now up to him to save China. All right, let's jump into a little bit of housekeeping. This is China War 1, which is the term we use to describe the first turn a player is at war. And it's always a big turn regardless of the country. There's a lot of nuances with China. So first off, for housekeeping, to fill you in on a couple things, People's War markers. I've been placing those, or I could place them at the beginning of the game. The morale of China goes up and down depending on the fortunes of war. And during the Soviet attack, China lost 3 land zones, 2 in northern and central Manchuria, and then the 3rd in the aforementioned Hainan Island in the south. So each lost territory brings China's morale down by 1. So I will remove both People's War markers because China's morale goes to 0. It does not go below 0. All right, so that's part 1 of the housekeeping. Second, you'll notice some Chinese markers, roundels, outside of home country. Due to treaty arrangements, Nepal, which has a Chinese defense shield here, will align to the Soviets if India flips. Nepal will align to China when India flips to the Soviets. And I have not updated all the rest of the map, just focus on the Pacific, but I'll do that later. Similarly, Bangladesh will align if the Soviets take India, and they have Burma here as well. So both those home countries, both those territories have aligned to China militarily. They get their inherent paramilitary unit. Now what that does is that gives China, Burma would have aligned as well, but the Soviets knocked that one out. But it does give China 2 land zones outside of home country that it possesses, which will qualify China for a land battle star, and we'll talk about that later. So remove the People's War markers. Did put China up to DEFCON 2. And our income moved up to the maximum 11 and then down 1 for the loss of central Manchuria. So with all that housekeeping up to speed, let's jump into the turn. All right. We talked about income increases. We're at 11, down 1 is 10. Repair damage. So as the minister watched, we have 3 major army bases that the Soviets strategically struck, each one with 2 damage, so that costs 6 to repair. We will repair all 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hard-earned IPP invested in making those military headquarters and major army bases operational again. So that is done, and we move to tech, and with those 3 now repaired, we are able to roll all 3 of our tech dice. Okay, so we are going for 3 very important dice. Dice 2 is AMD. that you know and love, hates me. We're at level 1 still. We need an 8 or more. And until I get AMD tech, the Soviets are going to continue to just fire missiles for free at the Chinese bases. So I got to end that. Technology 3 is computers. I am at level 1. I need to be at level 2 in order to earn income bonuses when I go to war, which I'm at war now. So I need to hit this. This costs me money if I don't. And then technology 6 is long-range missiles. Right now we are at stage 3. The completion of long-range missiles does a couple things for us. One, it automatically puts 2 ASMs on our dashboard, which we can use this turn. And then 2, this will be the completion of a technology, and that is a boost to Chinese morale, and that would give us back 1 of our people's war markers. So that's an important one. All right, so those are our techs and why they are important. So let's take the 3 dice, drop them into the randomizer, and we're looking for high numbers. High numbers. Okay. Well, we missed the money. That's a shame. We did get 9 on long-range missiles. We only needed a 7, and we got 9 on AMD. So that's great. Not awesome, not super awesome, fantastic, but great. So that completes long-range missiles. So long-range missiles move from stage 3 to stage 4, and we will add the 2 ASMs to our dashboard. And as Knights Templar is grinding his teeth, that does mean that my optional attack, if I got it, will take place this turn. And then AMD, we move from stage 1 to stage 2 of AMDs. AMD. All right. Super awesome, fantastic. I'm doing something off camera, and I'll worry about that later. Okay. So that completes those tech rolls. Now we have more dice to roll, however. So hang on. Don't go too far, friends and neighbors. All those yellow dice up here, they represent China's nuclear release dice. China gets 2d12 for every IPP of a territory. 0 IPP territories, or territory without value, is equivalent to 1. So I get 2 dice for Northern Manchuria, 2 dice for Southern Manchuria, and 2 dice for Hainan Island. So we are rolling for nuclear release. This is the release authority. We would be asking the Supreme Leader. I'm not sure who we're asking now. I guess the Defense Minister is weighing his options as he takes firm control of the government. We need an 11 or 12. All right, so that's tilted, but it's a 10. 3, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10. So the ministers decided not to use nukes against the Soviets, at least so far, okay? So we can revisit that at another date. All right, let's go back to the map. All right, so LRMs, that's a yes. Okay. All right, that's a no on nuclear purchase options. Okay, so let me slide over the very important purchase, China War 1 purchase. Okay, and I just threw this on here real quick. So on War 1, again, unique to China, similar to what you saw Flak 88 do with one of the new variable rules in NATO, China gets automatically 6 paramilitary at no cost and can place anywhere from 1 to all 6 of them in any home country land zone. So those are free. Well, let me just start off with the fact that we had 13 IPP and we spent 6 to repair, right? So it left me 7. So I got these 6 for free. That left me 7 IPP. And on War 1, China has a couple choices. They can either spend 2 IPP to buy light infantry brand new, or they can spend 1 IPP and upgrade a paramilitary to a light infantry. So I'm spending 7 upgrading my paramilitary to light infantry. Okay, so I will be placing 7 light infantry and 6 paramilitary. Doesn't have to be the same ones. I already spent this. I will build 1 cruise missile. I start with none, but I have 1 major airbase, so I'll get 1. And I have 1 major shipyard, so I'll get 1 ASM on top of the 2 that I now have, thanks to getting long-range missiles. And then this is to remind me of the Battlestar. I will place an upgrade of a minor army base to a major army base, and that's for having Nepal and Bangladesh. So there you go, as Ewok-y and low tech, low cost as you can get. That's China. All right, so that's purchases. Now let's go into combat phase. I do have 3. 1, a 2, a 3. The first combat is all the way up here in the north, Dornagabi. Let me move you up so you can see it more clearly. Okay, so here you go. Dornagabi, Mongolia. I am sending 1 light infantry from central Manchuria to cross the desert frontier into Mongolia. He's attacking at a 2, they're defending at a 4. He is being supported by my 2 short-range ballistic missile launchers here in Beijing, in that task force marker. They are each firing a chemical weapon, armed short-range ballistic missile. So that's 2 of them. First strike, I'll actually get to roll 4 dice at 4. The first hit will be a chemical hit, and then if any of the other 3 hit, then they're taking casualties. I am also sending in 8 early gen fighters. That's 6 from southern Manchuria, and then 2 flying from East Xinjiang, 1, 2, and then they'll be able to return to base. Okay, so that is combat attack 1. Attack 2 is down here in the south. I'm going to take out that Soviet air assault corps in Burma. I have 1 light infantry and 1 SAM that will move in from southern Yunnan into Burma. I will also send 4 early gen fighters. So I have 3 from Beijing flying 1, 2, 3. They'll have 2 left. Southern Yunnan, Guangxi, that's their 2. So these 3 will be landing in Guangxi. And then this guy up here has 1 extra leg he's got to move. So he's got to move 1, 2, 3, 4. He'll only have 1 left. His base 4 plus the 1 move from the airbase. He's going to land actually in southern Yunnan, assuming he survives the battle. And then the pride of the Chinese Air Force, this 40-year-old medium bombers coming in to lend moral and combat support. So that's 1, 5, 4 3s, the SAM, and the light infantry. Okay, so attack 3. This was the optional attack depending on literally a roll of a dice. So here in P30, with the remnants of the Soviet fleet, I am moving, coming off silent running in P54, the Chinese nuclear attack submarine moving P46, P38. We are not at war with U.S. Pacific Command, so I can occupy the same space. I will fire my 2 anti-ship missiles into this C zone. Can't hit the subs, obviously. Aiming for his fleet. And this spy balloon is my equivalent of the Chinese satellite. So I'm going to use targeting technology as China has, and I'm going to try to kill his cruiser. So I got to get past his 1 AMD shot, and then if I get a hit on either of the 2 missiles, he will, because I'm using targeting, get his phalanx defense as well. So this could be a thrilling battle. And that's battle 3. So let's go to the battle box, shall we? All right, I'm not putting anything on the battle boards. I'm just going to bring you over here. Let's bring up the first battle. Okay, so I have 2 3s and 2 4s, depending on the outcome of first strike. I have 4 dice at 4. These are the short-range ballistic missiles with chemical, 4 or less. Okay, all right, not bad, not bad, actually, very good. 12, 9, 4, 2. So the first one is a chemical hit. So that moves the defending Soviets from defending at 4 to defending at 3. And then this kills one of them. So 1 casualty. So that's good. That's great. So there's only 1 more hit I need. All right. I have the 1 light infantry, which I'll go ahead and roll him separate. Whoa! I got a 2. So that was a freak of nature. And I'm still going to roll the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doesn't matter what color, just 8 dice. No, yes. 8 dice. These are the early gen fighters. They each hit on a 3 or less. All right. So there's my overkill. 1, 1. So I got him. That was super awesome. Fantastic. So Mongolia. Haha, you didn't expect us to come over the wall, did you? So here's the 1 3 for the Mongolian. 7. 7. So that is a miss on your bingo card. All right, so remove the 2 rockets, remove the chem, remove the dead, and remove the Soviet marker, and place my light infantry squarely in the desert. Outstanding. Battle 1 complete. Now let's go down to the Battle of Burma. Burma. All right, get this out of the way. One of the glorious features of having so many of these snap trays, thanks to Doug's generous support, is you can pre-stage your battles. All right, so in Burma, these are both 4s defending, because the attack helicopter and the air cav both defend at a 4. So green is the air cav, black is the attack helicopter, and that's based on my tipping scale, okay? So I'll set them aside. Coming in to this battle, no first strike. My SAMs fire, but they don't get first strike. So I will fire the 2 at 2. 2 at 2. 1 and a 5. All right. And Knights Templar did instruct that his air cav would take the first hit, so that's good, but it's not first strike again. And then I have my light infantry at a 2. I have 4 3s for the early gen fighters, and I have a 5 for the state-of-the-art 1960 Chinese medium bomber. I need 1 more hit. Okay, so the light infantry is on fire. That is so awesome, considering I have a bunch of light infantry I just bought. And then the bomber, and even one of them. So I got him. Got him. The Soviet Air Assault Corps is No more. But they both defend. These are both at fours. Okay. And the randomizer, a 6 and a 6. I'm not sure what is happening with the device as far as its random playlists. I'll turn it down. That's annoying. All right, so both misses. All right, so Burma is liberated, once again falling under control of the right type of communism, the Maoist Marxist form, not the Leninist, Stalinist, Admiral C. Bassist form. And I'll move in the SAM and the light infantry, and then I'll land the air non-combat. So let's go to the unexpected battle, which has 2 ASMs, 2 AMD, oh, both black, sorry, ASMs at 5, AMD at 4, and then depending, Phalanx Defense, 2 6s. So we'll see, okay? So first up, the missile defense. So actually he gets 1 shot. He only has the cruiser that can fire, so that's 1 at 4. 4. All right, so he did his best. Good shooting, sailors. So that takes out 1 of the ASMs. So I need a 5 or less. I got a 3. I got a 3. Super awesome, fantastic. So that meant 1 missile, target selected, onto the Soviet cruiser. Defends at a 6 or less. This is the Phalanx, the little R2-D2 gun, the Soviet equivalent of it. He's looking for low numbers, 1 to 6, he shoots it down. 7 to 12, the missile hits. Okay. 3. Whoa, I'm thrilled. I love naval warfare in this game. And even though I missed, well, actually I hit, but he shot it down. That was as Clancy-esque and as exciting as I could ask for. All right, so I failed to sink the pride of the Soviet Pacific Fleet, but I was thrilled. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Okay, so that completes all of our combat. Let's move swiftly and with purpose and wrap up the rest of this turn. Non-combat movement. Let's land those aircraft, shall we? We're going to land the bomber back in Beijing in the Task Force Marker. I'm going to park these back in the Task Force Marker as well. The 1 lands here, southern Yunnan. The 3 land here in Guangxi. Okay. I'm going to move 2 paramilitary. I'm going to take you to the northwest part. Off this task force marker, I'm going to now move 2 paramilitary from eastern Xinjiang into western Xinjiang. Okay, 2 paramilitary into western Xinjiang. I'm going to strategically land move 2 mechs from eastern Xinjiang. 1, 2, normal movement. 3, the third one, into southern Manchuria. 2 mechs, eastern Xinjiang to southern Manchuria. While I'm at southern Manchuria, come up here so you can see. This airborne is going to get in the port because there's no airbase in southern Manchuria, so he's going to have to sea lift. Take the sea lift. 1, 2, off the coast of Taiwan, which is occupied by no Soviet, just Taiwanese and US, and land at Guangxi. Similarly, the airborne here in the airborne here will move 1, 2 to Guangxi as well. Okay. This SAM in Guangxi will move over to southern Yunnan, and the SAM in Beijing will move 1, 2 to Guangxi. All right, let me check my list. Check it off. I got the mechs, I got the airborne, I got the SAMs. And I landed the southern aircraft, the northern aircraft, the two that were from the east, went back to the east, and the 6 that were from southern Manchuria land back in southern Manchuria. Okay, so 6 and 2. My satellite balloon just floats harmlessly away to come down 40 years later over North Dakota. All right, and so that's it for, let me just double check one last time. Yes, okay. All right, so now we move swiftly to end of turn phase, place new units. So the major army base, as we said, from the battle star, I'm going to place in eastern Xinjiang to shore up our western front. Okay, so that's where we're placing the major army base. Check. I have 6 paramilitary. I'm putting 1 in Yunnan, southern Yunnan. Okay, so it'll give me 2 there. The other 5 I'm placing in southern Manchuria. And I'll do a piece count and an order of battle for my partners after the game. Okay, so that's the paramilitary. For the 7 light infantry, I'm going to send 1. What I'm doing is I'm upgrading paramilitary, so I can't just place them like I did the paramilitary. So in eastern Xinjiang, I had 3 paramilitary remaining from the 5 I started with. I'm going to take 1 of them off and upgrade him with a light infantry. Hopefully that was on camera and you weren't just listening to radio. That's boring. All right, so 1 in eastern Xinjiang. In southern Yunnan, where I have 2 light infantry, I'm going to take off 1 paramilitary, reward him for his loyal service to the nation, and promote him to a light infantry unit. Outstanding. The difference being the light infantry are given bullets. Okay. And then the final 5, started with 7, placed 2, that left me 5. The final 5 be placed in southern Manchuria. So in southern Manchuria, I'm going to take 5 paramilitary chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to slide them underneath the 2 light infantry that are there, giving me 7. All right, and again, I'll do a complete status of forces after for my fellow players. I'm finally placing on my dashboard 1 Chinese cruise missile, which is its unique sculpt. Pretty cool, I like that. And 1 anti-ship missile. All right, so those go on the dashboard. Super awesome, fantastic. We take this off. What's next? Checklist. People's War Markers. So I did get LRM. So my morale moved to 1. The people are happy. They love, you know how the people love long-range missiles, right? And I'm going to place my 1 People's War Marker in southern Manchuria. Southern Manchuria. That's awesome. Collect income. All right, I've got a pre-staged income collection plate. All right, I have base 10. Nothing we did changed the base. Burma, just confirming, Burma has no intrinsic value. So still at 10. I get 3 for arms sales. That's what this tank represents. That's a 3 income bonus. That gives me 13. And I did not achieve computers, so I don't get that. So 13 IPP. Once more will be my cash on hand at the end of this turn. And then finally, we look at the fallout. I think a couple of the players have already stated this, but since I go last, and when it comes to it, I would be rolling for the variable turn end. I want to make sure I get this right. NATO used 2, and that was the U.S. Pakistan nuclear defense. So +3. Nuclear marker was at 2, so the fallout level moves to 5. And that completes our turn. On behalf of all of my fellow players, I wish you and yours the happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year. We are going to be taking a break. We're taking a break and returning after the New Year's. We'll be returning in January, okay? So no new videos for a while. This Chinese turn was the final turn of Global War 85 in 2024. So thank you for watching. Happy holidays, everyone. This is Captain G, over and out.